everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Lori, and I want to talk to you about EFT tapping, emotional freedom tapping. So it's something that I do with my clients, a lot of my alternative clients, and I'm just going to show you something really basic that you can do because why not? I mean, it's free and you have the resources by your little fingers. So I want to talk to you about it. So let's talk about your emotions in general. So emotional freedom tapping is think of it as like you're tapping something into your brain to help rewire it. Again, this is only going to be as effective as you are consistent. So you have to be consistent with your practice. So you don't do it once or twice and be like, this isn't working. That's never going to serve your best and highest good because you have to be consistent. Remember, 28 days makes a habit, 120 days makes it a way of life. This means you do it and you don't wait to get into peril. This is where I think so many people struggle is you have these tools, but then you only use the tools when you're feeling stressed. That's like you can't say I'm going to journal when I'm upset. You do those 5 journals every day, good days, bad days, and everything in between, much like EFT tapping. So I like to do this, and I don't have to do it at long periods of time, but when you do it when you're not in peril, anything, breathing, journaling, when you're doing those things when you're not in stress, your brain starts to develop like, oh, I kind of like this like feeling. This feeling's awesome. So when you are in peril, your brain understands that when you're doing the breathing, when you're doing the tapping, anything like that, that your body goes into relax mode. If you're only doing it in peril, your body is still in fight or flight. It's not going to even remotely like balance. So with EFT tapping, I'm just going to show you some of the basic ones with the thymus right here, that little like where your collarbone comes into this V is called your thymus. It's an amazing space. It's one of my favorite places to tap, but I'm also going to show you on your face, which I've done before. But you want to create a mantra and you keep the mantra for all of the tapping that you're going to do. Okay. Don't make it a long thesis. It can't be like, I just want to be okay and not feel bad. Like, no, we're not doing that. It's not a dialogue, but you can say, if you're feeling like you're feeling a little spirally or you feel like, hey, I'm not sure where my life is, you can say, I'm safe. That's a really good mantra. I am safe. I am capable. I am enough. I am loved. Something that I am. I am. Not I want to be, I could be, I should. I am. The I am statements become very real. So what you want to do is we're going to hit a few areas. We're going to hit where you would call it your third eye. We're also going to hit right here under your eye. So like if you look straight ahead, right, just look straight ahead, and it's going to be like right, like in the middle. We're also going to hit here and here, and of course the thymus, right? There's so many other places to tap, and I do it with a lot of my clients, and we teach. This is a really good like coping strategy, right? It's good when you start to feel in your headspace. But again, do this when you're not in peril too, so your body knows. So you can do, I like to do 2 hands. If you only want to do 1, that's fine. But when you get here, you're going to want to do 2. Everything else you can do 1. I like to do 2. Okay. I just feel like it's, oh, I should tell you, the harder you smack yourself in the face doesn't mean it's going to go in any faster. So if you're like, I am enough, and you're like, I am enough, like try not to give yourself a concussion. Okay. Because it doesn't matter. Just something basic and simple so you can take it. So in between your mantra, you want to take a deep breath and exhale. So give yourself, in the beginning, I would say give yourself 6 times. I can go a lot longer. And sometimes it goes into almost like a meditative feeling because as you start to tap and as you start to get into the groove, it really keeps you present, right? It's really kind of great. So let me fix this really quick. I feel like it's all up in my nose. Okay, we're going to keep it like that so you can kind of see. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me. So let's say, let's do I am enough. And you can change this every single day or multiple times throughout the day. But whatever you're going to start with, I want you to finish with. So don't change them up, okay? So I like to take, some people do this, some people do this. I tend to do this, and sometimes I do this. I don't know. There's no right or wrong. But again, you want to go like right here where the third eye is and just tap. Take a deep breath. You can keep your eyes open or closed. In the beginning, a lot of times people will close so they're not there's no distractions. I can do it with my eyes open, but for a demonstration, I'll show you. So you take a deep breath in. I am enough. Keep going. I am enough. 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 And then I like to bring it around. I tap, you don't have to. I usually tap around. And then here, you're going to do the same thing, right? So it's the same mantra. I am enough. You're going to do it the same way. Okay. Now, here is where I'm going to change to one hand, but a lot of times I'll still tap through here and then you do it here. I am enough. Don't rush it. I am enough. Take that full deep breath. Exhale. I am enough. Do it again, right? So then I'll pull this hand back up and I'll tap back around and I go to this piece right here. This is what's called your mentalis, right? So you start tapping there. Same thing. I am enough. And you can actually use two hands in both of these places, but sometimes I'll change it up. I am enough, right? So you're going to do that. And then my most favorite area is your thymus. So like I said, if you go up, if you follow your collarbone, your shoulder, your collarbone here, shoulder bone, collarbone, and you bring it all the way down to the V right here, right there, right above that, right there in that little hole. That's your thymus. You can probably hear me tapping because it's so close to the microphone. You're going to feel it. Oh, it's so great. Like even if you don't say anything, oh, just tap. Just brings you back to base. It's literally my favorite tapping point ever, but they're all great. So you say like, I am enough. So right, you're going to do that. You can do that one time. You can do it 2 times. You can do it 3 times, but incorporate it into your daily practice. It doesn't have to take you more than 10 or 15 minutes, but sometimes if I get in the mode, especially if I'm outside and I start tapping, but it's not usually like I am enough. If I'm like, I am capable. Like if it's something that I'm struggling with, or if I'm having writer's block for the book, or, you are fine. You want it to be something that you're not looking for external validation on. So when you're doing the tapping itself, and I mean, there's so many other places to tap. You could tap here. You can tap under here, which is actually another chakra, which a lot of people, I don't know if they know it, it's your spleen chakra. So your spleen chakra is really great to tap in. And there's other areas that you'll tap in, even down by the legs. But again, we're starting to get into other areas where we start using acupressure and we start doing like a lot of the chi exercises. And we're not going to do that for this video. I promise you, if you want to, we can go into it later. But these are tools that you have. I'm all about free stuff, and I'm all about giving yourself something that's holistic that you can do that's really going to help you. But again, do not wait till you're in the middle of an anxiety attack or you're stressed or you're in this bad headspace and start tapping, because that's not going to be a place for you to like really absorb it, because you're not going to believe it. You're just going to be doing it out of desperation, fight or flight. That's never going to serve you. So when you're in that space of tapping and you start doing it, like I said, as part of your daily routine, I like it because sometimes it'll even help me go to sleep at night. So sometimes I might not do my full body, and sometimes I might just do my thymus where I'm laying in bed and I'm like, I am restful. Sometimes I have to say that. My body's like, no, you're not restful. But I am restful, right? I am restful. I am capable. Whatever your capable is or your restful is, don't change up the narrative. Whatever you start with, I want you to keep, because that mantra can also be something that your body, in the beginning, your brain isn't going to believe it. And that's fine, because we got to change the wiring. But in order to change the wiring, you got to tap it in. And again, it does so many things. It keeps you grounded. It starts to rewire the way that you think, like your brain perspective. There's so many health benefits to it. And if you allow yourself to do that daily, and you can do it as many times in the day as you want, but again, always at least once when you're not when there's not a stressor there, right? And you'll play with the mantras. And after a while, I probably have 5 or 6 that I really use. Every now and again, I'll be like, ooh, I want a new one, but I like them. It's kind of like if you do transcendental meditation, TM meditation, they give you it's a mantra sort of, but it's usually a word that's on repeat. So, and TM is great. Transcendental meditation is amazing. But you have to go through it because everybody's going to kind of get their own word. But yeah, it's actually a really great thing. So if you incorporate some of these holistic practices into your life, that doesn't mean that there's not a place for your medicines. There absolutely is. This doesn't mean replace that with this. It will just really help you come back to base. It'll help lower your pressures, like your blood pressure, your breath rate. It'll help you expand out your belly. It'll help you really, like I said, rewire. And it's the time that you get to spend with you. This has to be about you. So when you allow yourself to do that, I promise you, you're able to cope with things better. You have a coping strategy and you look forward to doing it. So